With me for tonight's politics panel are Brian Pruitt, Director of Red State, Alex Lawson, Executive Director of Social Security Works, and Gianno Caldwell, Republican strategist with Caldwell Strategic Consulting. And thank you all for joining me.
Thank you
to have you all here tonight. Bernie's campaign actually responded to the attack that came out today. I got the letter. There was also Michael Briggs, one of his spokespeople, made a comment about how this was just a fundamentally dishonest attack. But beyond that, this is what the letter said. Yesterday, one of Hillary Clinton's most prominent super PACs attacked our campaign pretty viciously. They'd suggested I be friendly with Middle East terrorist organizations and even tried to link me to a dead communist dictator. It was the kind of onslaught I expected to see from the Koch brothers or Sheldon Adelson. So anyhow, in the setup, I suggested that this might actually be working against Hillary. And although in the setup, I also said that this was Camp Clinton coming out with this, and in fact, it's not. It's actually a super PAC being run by David Brock, who left Media Matters after having left the Republican Party, after having taken down Anita Hill and other things. But, you know, there's a fair amount of congruent. Anyhow, I'm curious what you all think.
One would
about my
think
thoughts
that
on this.
even though super PACs can't directly coordinate with campaigns, you would think that the Hillary campaign would be smart enough, or at least just practical enough, to put a tweet out there saying, do not attack someone that we don't take that seriously. Obviously, now they're taking him seriously. Right. And so I think it's just, in the annal of bad ideas, this was the worst idea ever.
Yeah. Because they're taking him seriously, or because they decided to attack?
Because it's just bad to attack somebody who's getting crowds of 13, 15, 20,000 people.
30,000.
Yeah.
30,000. Bernie holds the
It's just a
record.
bad idea when she's doing one-on-one interviews with Mario Lopez from Extra, and he's getting like 20, 30,000 people in crowds. Attacking him is the worst idea ever. I just really think it's the worst.
And that's a great point. And in your setup, you mentioned why is it that she's attacking him? And I think you said it well. She's a corporate clone, if you will. That's what she's doing. She's trying to pander to the money. You want to pander to J.P. Morgan Chase, which is one of her supporters. They give money to her. In addition to that, she's not coming off as authentic. Where's the energy? Whenever you have to put out a press release and say she's going to be more friendly, she's going to provide more laughter, you know that your campaign is in sincere trouble. Whenever you got folks on the Benghazi committee continuing to reveal things about you that you said weren't true to begin with, you know that you're in more trouble.
She has had a bullseye on her back ever since her husband was elected president, and you know, let's be very clear about this. And you know, a fair amount of some of what you're saying, I think, is perceived to be real. Some of it is kind of bumper stick labeling of her.
No, Tom. But this is real. She said that she did not get classified material over her email. That was proven to be incorrect.
Who cares?
She
Colin
said
Powell did the same thing. Right
She's
now,
not
John
her
Kerry
husband.
has a separate server. Alex, your thoughts on this?
I think that the attack was, I think the people who hate the attack most are probably Hillary Clinton's people. It was really a bad maneuver. Senator Sanders' response was brilliant because he immediately used that to say, look, the super PACs are coming after me. This is the defining issue of the race to me. I do not have a super PAC, and that's a critical thing. That's the difference between me and other people in the race. And I think one of the things is Senator Sanders has been entirely positive, right? That's the thing. So
And transparent.
And transparent. And if Secretary Clinton wants to define herself, she can in a positive manner. She doesn't need to go negative at all against anyone because she is running a very strong campaign.
When your poll numbers are as bad as hers, yes, you do need to go
I mean,
negative.
who are you comparing them to, though? I mean, her poll numbers are
in
very...
terms of Senator Sanders just doing great in Iowa, she has to do something to try to slow down the momentum.
There is no Republican
That's what it is.
who has Hillary Clinton's numbers, right?
The backstory.
Actually, that's not true. Donald Trump.
No,
There was a national poll that came out last week having him polling 5 points ahead of her. The national poll.
The backstory on this is I'm perplexed at why the Clintons are getting in bed with David Brock. Like, if he does his own thing all by himself, whatever, you know, I wasn't a big fan when he was a Republican, and I'm even less of a fan now that he's a Democrat. I just don't understand. Bill Clinton gave this glowing review of his latest book, which I just don't understand why they're cozying up to him.
I'm wondering, and Alex, maybe you can offer some insight into this. Is this something that the Clinton campaign is happy about or unhappy about?
I think they have to be unhappy about it because it is not coming off, it's not playing well, right? I mean, it is coming off making Senator Sanders look good. First of all, the attacks were incredibly ham-handed and dishonest, right? I mean, like, it was classic bad political attack, and Senator Sanders' response was really sure-footed.
So is the problem that David Brock is some kind of dummy? I mean, is it that he's trying to replay the Anita Hill kind of stuff? You know, the blunt force, and it's just like times have changed. It requires a lighter, sophisticated touch. Or?
I know for a fact that he's not a dummy. He's a brilliant man. I disagree with this completely, but I think that there are. Because the media has created this perception that her campaign is somehow not doing well, when in fact it's doing extremely well, right? I mean, she's well positioned to be.
What is the definition of extremely well? Are you saying she's raising money? Yes, she's raising money.
I mean, she can handily defeat any of the Republicans in the general.
They want someone else. They want Joe Biden, or they want Senator Sanders.
I mean, that's
whomever.
what you
they
want
don't want
to say.
Hillary. Yeah. Did you see the Ellen interview? She's going on. They put the whole thing together just so they can say that she's likable. This is 2008 all over again.
I can't
when
remember.
Barack Obama said, "Hillary, you're likable enough." This is what you're having.
I can't remember how many years in a row Secretary Clinton has been the #1 most looked up to, admired figure in the world. It's 8, isn't it, or somewhere around there? So I don't think that we're dealing with somebody.
And all those years are when she's not running for president. It changes immediately the day she declares
well, we'll
for
see
president.
how this plays out. Don't underestimate misogyny. Don't underestimate the anti-Clinton machine. I mean, there's that stuff. But all that said, I would be happy with either one of these two people as president.
To your point, you can look up to Warren Buffett, but you don't have to like him. You might appreciate the success and the things in which they accomplish, but that doesn't mean you want them to be president.
Look, Secretary Clinton, when she was the Secretary of State, universally admired for the work that she did from basically all sides. I mean,
and
across
one of those
the board.
things was pushing out the ambassador of Kenya for the exact same thing that she's being accused of.
Now we're getting down in the weeds here.
That's what it is,
in a really, really messy way.